Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today, as reported by Bleacher Report and NBA Central, that Brook Lopez is likely leaving the Milwaukee Bucks this offseason free agency. This is not a super shock. I mean, Lopez heading into free agency for the second time in the last couple years. The first time we saw that, him sign that, re-sign that to that 2-year deal. It was a pretty solid deal for the Bucks. I mean, Lopez was coming off that 2022-23 season where he was really good, was number 2 in Defensive Player of the Year. Probably should have won that year in 2022-2023 season. Averaged 16 points per game, shot well from 3, was an amazing shot blocker that year, averaging almost 3 blocks per game. And has he played as good as he did in the 2022-23 season since then? No. But the Bucks wanted to keep him a part of the team because he's a key piece of their team defensively, 3-point shooting, and all that. And so they did that, and they re-signed him. But now as he's getting a little bit older, at 37 years old, and, at this time, he's the minutes have gone down a little bit. I mean, there were times this year where the minutes were lower. This year in the playoffs, the minutes were a lot lower. And as the season went on, they played 5 games in the playoffs, and he only started 4, which in his Bucks tenure before, they've been in the playoffs like 6 times in the last 6 seasons, 7 straight postseason attempts for the Milwaukee Bucks. And before this year's postseason, he had never had a game for this Bucks team. He'd never had a game in his career where he came off the bench in the playoffs. For the Bucks, had before this series against the Indiana Pacers, had played 71 playoff games for the Milwaukee Bucks, 71 starts. Had played 84 playoff games, 84 starts. But then came off the bench in one of the games, and it was the lowest minutes per game he's received in a playoff series or a playoff year by a mile. 14.8 minutes per game in this year's playoff for Brook Lopez is the lowest minutes per game he has received in the playoffs outside of the 2021-22 season. He received 27.2 minutes per game in the 2021-22 season. So it was his lowest minutes per game by almost 13 minutes per game this year. And Lopez, in those 5 games in 14.8 minutes per game, averaged 5 points per game, 2 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game, 1 block per game in only 14 minutes. From the floor, from three-pointer shot, a really bad 27% from 3. But total-wise, this year, that was only on 15 attempts, though. So that was only on 15 attempts. So, yeah, the percentage was bad, but it was only on 15 attempts. It was 4 for 15 from 3. If you look at the regular season from 3 this year, Lopez was a very good 37.3%. Was his best since the 2022-23 season, and was his second best of his career. So, in 3-point percentage this year. And that was on 4.7 attempts. So, 3-point shooting for the season for Lopez was really good. Postseason wasn't, but that was only on 15 attempts. Field goal percentage was 36%. But those attempts were down as well, as he only took 22 field goal attempts and made 8. So, I'm not saying, but that's the thing I'm saying is that the attempts are down, compared to others. You look at last year in the postseason, Lopez shot in the postseason 58.7% in last year's postseason. Even though he had a poor shooting postseason this year, he's still 51% shooter from the floor in the postseason. Shot when playing normal minutes this year for the Milwaukee Bucks in the regular season, he shot 51% from the floor and 37% from 3. And had a solid season. So, I think there are a lot of teams that could use him. I look at 2 teams like Lopez is going to want to be on a winning team. I look at the Warriors and the Lakers as 2 teams who need a center. I know the Rockets are going to be one team. They've already been reported as a team that to be interested in him. Because if Steven Adams leaves Houston, that's where the Rockets are going to pivot to. The team that almost got Lopez to leave the Bucks after the 2022-23 season when Lopez re-signed on a 2-year deal was the Houston Rockets. So 3 teams I throw out there for Lopez to leave the Bucks for is to either go back to the Lakers, go to the Warriors, or go to the Rockets. I think those are the only 3 teams that Lopez are going to go to, at least in the Western Conference. I don't know if I really see him go to the Eastern Conference either. I think most likely it's either the Lakers, Warriors, or Rockets. The question of which one of those teams it will be, I don't know. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on the news today about Brook Lopez, and peace out. Go Rockets. I am a Rockets fan, but that's not the top. Brook Lopez very well could end up in Houston, though. So, yeah, I'm going to still say go Rockets. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.